Ask everyone to just silence your phones. I'm calling the meeting to order. Let's get up to the national anthem.
We stand for national anthem. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go to that James for a roll call.
James Torres.
Present.
Asley Corrales. Fabio Bobby. Thomas Garrett.
Present.
Frank Costello.
Present.
Sharon Brower.
Present.
Gianna Monaco. Ali Baptiste.
Present.
Crystal Ferreira.
Present.
Natalia Flor.
Present.
Richard Garcia. Paola.
Present.
Jennifer Gonzalez.
Present.
Jillian Harris.
Present.
Carlos.
Present.
Lydia Luther.
Present.
William.
Present.
Pierce Mott.
Present.
Urban.
Present.
Gianna. Janai Manover.
She's not a student anymore.
She's on this. Edward. Beer.
Yes,
Dr. Valerie Enders. Present. Arthur Patrick. Darcy DuBois.
She doesn't leave the Christmas.
On her behalf.
Yes. All right, I just got to go to James to amend the agenda.
Okay, before we approve the agenda, I have to amend the agenda. We had a couple changes. First of all, we're going to be moving, we had a speaker, Krista Salemi, that was going to speak in the beginning, but she's stepping in for Darcy DuBois, so we can do that at the end of when she makes her announcements. All right, another thing, we have another guest speaker, which is Torres. She wants to speak about an event that she has. So, for the Disney event, and we're not doing it. So that's it. Can I get a motion to approve the amended agenda? This is Sharon Brower, Jennifer Gonzalez, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Can I get a motion to approve the amended agenda now, right? So, that's Crystal Figueroa for one, and Jennifer Gonzalez for two, or that's either one. Can I get a motion, can I get a motion for approval? All ayes?
Aye.
All in favor? Oh, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passed.
All right,
And I yield the floor back to Mr.
all right, I'm looking for approval of the minutes from the special election Parliament meetings on November 16th. Motion by Sharon, second by Jennifer. Motion passed. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passed. All right, and now I'm going to go on to the speaker only. Oh, it's only first?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go to, move forward to Orly. She's having a...
That's whatever you want.
Speaking about
Whatever you want to say.
I'll do it.
Sure, you don't mind.
Special election.
Hi, good evening. My name is Orly. I'm the freshman class president for this year. And I wanted to let you guys know that we're holding a Disney night on Friday, April 7th from 6:30 to 8:30. The purpose of this event is just to really unite commuters and residents in just a night of fun, relaxation. We're going to have food, games, Disney music, and costumes if anyone wants to wear them. So it is just going to be like a really fun, uplifting night, especially since it's around like midterms and the World War Finals. So a nice little little change of pace. We'll also be having a raffle for some Squishmallows, so I think that will entice a lot of people to come. But any promotion that you guys want to do on your social media, you can tag your class of 2026.
or you got it and you just want people to come?
We will be having a photo booth at the event, so it's possible that we could need someone to help with that. And then the music will just be like a phone connected to a speaker playing Disney music. So that's what's taken care of. And other than that, like anyone who wants to come set up the tables and chairs, we're gonna have about 20 tables set up in the ballroom. This takes place in the ballroom, 6:30 to 8:30. So if anybody would come by at like 4 on that Friday, we'll probably have something for you to help with.
Does anybody need to pre-register or anything like that?
There are no tickets and there's no pre-registration. So if there are any allergies, we do that. Ask people to kind of let us know. Like when we said you had an email blast for the Monday, so I've reached out to Darcy about that, but we'll be having a gluten-free option and then vegetarian options too. So we've taken into consideration allergies, food preferences. So the meal is going to be basically fried chicken or grilled chicken, and then sides, desserts. A lot of them are like gluten-free and vegetarian. So no pre-registration needed.
Just wanted to mention, I'm going to debut for the camera. You just got the back of your head the whole time. Thank you so much, all. We appreciate your time. Have a good one. God bless.
Alright, and then we're gonna move on to open forum, looks like we don't have anything for open forum, so I'm gonna move on to officer announcements. I'm gonna yield the floor to President James.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome back, everybody, from break. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Everybody, I seem to ask how they enjoyed it, like what break, but we're back. I have a couple things I have to mention. I'm just gonna go down the line here. They're gonna cover more in depth of what we're actually gonna be covering today. But petitions are gonna have to be redone. I think Asley's gonna bring that up later on. The bowling party, I'm gonna be covering that as well, I think. Is that on here? Yep, so yeah, so the bowling party, we mentioned it last time. So we're thinking about April 27th for now. Elections are coming up soon, so everybody be on the lookout for that. And when Asley's done, she can explain why it is important that we do our petitions and stuff. But Story Awards, he's gonna be covering that. And the block party, which Krista Sullivan will be covering later on. You're gonna need volunteers and stuff like that to set up. And a reminder as well that right now we have brick positivity going on. So tell your friends, tell anybody on campus going out there. You can win 2 tickets to, what is it, Six Flags? Yeah, so go out there, have fun, enjoy yourself on campus. That's all I have for right now, Mr. Chair.
Alright, I'm gonna yield the floor to Vice President Asley Corrales for her announcements.
Hi guys, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate, again, you guys being here. So like what James was saying, I'll talk about it a little bit more during our filing on new business B. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That's just kind of like, yeah, we'll just talk about it. Anyways, we are looking for more members for elections because of this filing period. So if anybody's interested, please reach out, let me know. Elections entails people who are going to be handing out petitions, validated petitions. They're also going to be helping with the past elections that are coming up because, again, elections will be coming up for them. Again, I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So elections is coming up with the filing. You know what? We'll just say it for later. I keep saying this, but we'll just say it for later. Essentially, our pictures, the links for the photos of the Valentine's Day dance is posted, so definitely go on that, share it, spread the word. I have some printed out QR codes here that I only have 10, so if you guys want to take some, I can, and then like, just scan it, share it, or if you guys want to just take it, that's fine too. We can start getting that publicized and shared out with everybody. Another thing is, I think that's the meeting, yes. The meeting, so all public relations and elections commission, if you guys are already a part of it right now, we are going to have a meeting till Monday at 4 o'clock, between 4:15, 4:30. So if you guys can make it, if you guys have time, or if that's the inconvenience for your schedule, please reach out and let me know. We have to get started on some of these things that we have to do. There's a long list of things. I'm only one person, so being part of the commission will be helping to support and help the fulfill those duties that we have to. So definitely reach out to me, come see us. We're gonna meet in the student government office 4:30 the latest. So definitely try to be there between 4 to 4:30. We'll definitely start at 4:30. But again, reach out to me, let me know if it's not convenient to your schedule. We can reschedule or something. But I really don't want to. But it's okay. You know, it's whatever you get. I guess that's it. Yeah, thank you. I pass the floor back to Tom.
All right, I'll yield the floor to Matthew Jakes for his announcements.
Good evening, everybody. Just a couple quick announcements. First off, our story nomination ballots, they are due tomorrow at 5 p.m. So if you have not voted on it yet, please do so. Also, as far as our voting ballots, they will be sent out on Friday, March 17th, and you'll be able to vote on them until Thursday, March 30th at 5 p.m. There will be gift cards raffled off at the stories for those who do the voting ballots. So again, a little more incentive to do it. And also, invitation forms will also be sent out within the next few days for the stories. I have the floor.
All right, I'll yield the floor to Treasurer Bob for her announcements.
So the announcement that I have today is, remember that we voted on changing the line numbers for, so I don't hear me. So we voted for the line, to change the line items for the line items are basically the things, the categories that we have, that students can budget money for, so from office supplies all the way to gases. So we are trying to change it to the standard. We have our own that we created, so we're trying to change it to the standard one, which is the accounting standard. So that's what I've been working on for the past month. So I've finally made some leeway. William Dempsey helped me figure it out. So me, the accountant, James, and Neil, that he is our accountant from college. We're going to sit down and figure it out. When we finally do that, I will bring it up so you guys to see the new account. So it makes sense to Parliament, and it can make sense to the board to discuss. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Let's go back to Thomas.
All right, just for my announcements, we're planning to pass by the way it looks of it, the bylaws should be able to go through Parliament. The next meeting, we just gotta talk to college about a little, just have one meeting for some minutes, and then we should pretty much be all good. We look forward to Frank Stiller for his announcements.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to announce that our survey for our annual SCG survey has gone out to the student body since Monday night, and so far we've collected 192 responses, which is great. I'm very excited. It's been very interesting reading through the responses, seeing what some people say, and it's very valuable. So I passed around one of these to all of you. If you haven't done it yet, I would recommend that you do, because even your input is also valuable as well, even as members of student government. I would only ask that when you do the last question in regards to SCG, just select 3 or neutral, just so that way we can remain, since we are impartial, So, but other than that, if you need more of these, you want to spread it out to your friends, you can come after and grab some, and I highly suggest you do. But this is our opportunity to really see what the students want and to get as much data as we can, because the more numbers we have, the more credibility it has, and the more feedback people have that might be helpful to us. So the deadline for that, it's Monday at midnight, which is pretty soon. But I figured we didn't need much time to do it, because at the end we will have to review all of the data as Condition Services Committee and respond to many students that wanted more information, and then start to implement these changes. So we needed, since we're nearing the end of the semester, that's why we went with a smaller time frame. And if anyone that does it will be entered to win a gift card There's $5 $25 gift cards, so if you need to tell your friends that to convince them, feel free. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the survey. By the time that we have our next Parliament meeting, it will have been concluded, and most of it, I'm sure by then we will have analyzed it, all the data, and I probably will have some more ideas by the time we get to that point. But yeah, just tell all your friends. Let's try to get that number as high up as we can. And if you want more of these little flyer things, just come grab one and pass it out to everyone you know, and that would be appreciated. And after that, I don't think I have anything else, so I'll yield the floor.
William?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I missed what you said about the last question. You said three mutual.
Oh, yes, okay, so the last question on the survey is, I am satisfied with the effectiveness of student community government in addressing student needs and concerns. So, since we are student community government, I think that we are kind of partial to thinking that, we're good. At least I would hope so, because we do try our best. But because of that, I think it would be appropriate to select the middle option, just so that way we can make sure that the students that aren't in SCG can have, if they really like it or if they don't, their results aren't skewed by ours.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Alright, so we got moving on to the Finance Commission minutes of February 18th, 2023. The floor is Fabio Bappi.
Oh, sorry. So those who don't know, so because our last employee left, Diane Costa, so the minutes have been really late. Because our last employee left, the minutes have been really late, so that's why it's February 8th. That's that's being passed upon right now. So so the Parliament meeting was about bringing out the number that you talked about, changing the accounting numbers and the national standard numbers. So in accounting, there are something called the national numbers of expenses revenue, equity, asset and liability. So we have our own windows and master standards. So if anyone else that isn't from SCG, trained by SCG, they wouldn't know by looking at our line items what it is. So we have been trying to change that. That's what this finance meeting was about. We are the professional the equivalent to the control of the college came to the finance commission meeting to explain to us why we need to change to the national standard accounting numbers. Then we approved some augmentation, reallocations, and we also approved I think that was the SCG's Valentine's Day party. Yeah, so that's all we did on February 8th. I usually go back to the Thomas.
Alright, and now we're moving on to the student organization committee. Oh, for the finance. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for a motion to approve the finance minutes for February 8th, 2023. First by Sharon, second by Carlos. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Yeah.
So Fatia and abstain.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then Mr. James as well.
Alright, motion passed. And now I'm giving the floor to Matthew Jakes for his student organization committee minutes.
All right, I know there's a lot of minutes here,
Yeah.
so let's just get started. So on the meeting of September 26th, we discussed how to, of 2022, we discussed how to review a non-constitution. We did the student convention for American Game Change, and we did, and we passed the Feinstein graduate formula modernized student constitution. On October 3rd, we approved the Bowenland's finest constitution. On October 12th, we approved the Disc Golf Club constitution and began planning the holiday party. on October 17th. We discussed the disqualified memorial. We approved it on this one, and then the holiday party, we continued discussions. We decided on a place being Greg's Restaurant. October 24th, 2022, was more planning on the holiday party. November 7th, 2022, was more planning on the holiday party. November 14th was more planning on the holiday party and reviewing and passing a revised constitution for the art club. November 21st was when we passed the line, we discussed the line constitution, all that we can end up passing that, and also we talked about the spring semester soccer, and I discussed more planning for the holiday party. November 28th was us doing final preparations for the holiday party, and same for December 5th. All right, that's all I got. Yes, I did. Yeah, so basically we began preparing for the historic meeting at 7 December 12th.
Okay.
Thank you.
You do all of them at once.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to approve the student organization committee minutes of September 26th, October 3rd, 12th, 7th, 24th, 2022, then November 7th, 14th, 21st, 21st, and 28th, and December 5th and 12th, 2022. There's a motion by Fatias, second by Yamamoto. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
All right, motion passed. All right, on to new business. First, we have James Torres talking about positive rate.
Okay, everybody, I just want to clear this up. The minutes, they didn't get done because we had, like Fatih was mentioning, we lost our, basically our scribe, which was, what's her name again? Diane, I'm sorry Diane, I didn't watch this. But Diane, she usually did all the minutes and stuff like that, so those were backlogged. And then he had to do the minutes for Parliament as well. So he was juggling Diane's job, doing his committee as well. So, you know, and she was doing the same thing as well. And then she's taking over Diane's job. Her and Joan, sorry Joan. But yeah, I just want to make that clear right now. So moving on, positively Rick again. Guys, get out there, support the school. I can't stress this enough. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on campus. The girls basketball team, they're about to go and win the nationals. Hopefully, I'm going on Saturday. They're going up to UConn. They're going up to UConn to go play up against another college, and they've been blowing out people by 30 points. They're phenomenal. Like I highly suggest you tell your friends, families, come down, buy tickets, support the team. We gotta start like doing tailgate parties. I have not keep mentioning tailgate parties. I know we can't drink on campus, but we need to support our recreational sports and stuff because, you know, like they're doing an amazing job, you know. And we can start with this with Positively Rick because we get out there and start speaking with people, get involved with all these activities that, let's say that's doing this, correct? Student activities. Yes. The student activities is a lot on campus as well, you know what I mean? So we get out there, and, like, I know you guys, what is it today? Was it you guys that did the pep rally today? That pep rally, I heard it was crazy.
Athletics.
Yeah, all right, it was athletics? All right, I heard the pep rally was crazy today. We did finance, so we missed it. But every day there's something new going on with Positively Rick. I don't know if there's any flyers out here.
Today they had a hand out there.
Yeah, see, so you know. So I encourage everybody, go out there, support your school, you know what I mean? This is your school, it's our school. Like, let's go out there and do this, you know? Other than that, I don't have anything else really to say. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. I wish I had more, but we just came back off vacation. Sorry.
Asley?
I just wanted to say off of the positively break, downstairs in this, like, on the first floor, there's a whole table laid out with all the flyers of the events. Scan it, share it, post it, share, literally, like, if you post it on your social media, most likely somebody else will see it, and that will convince the train or whatever it's called. But definitely, like, go downstairs, check it out, look at all the events. Maybe you don't want to go to every single one, but maybe there's like 4 or 5 of them. I think if you go to at least 2 of them, you're entered to win a cup or a decal or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so definitely, like, you're a winner even if you go to 1 or 2, so like, just go and
Yeah.
support. It's really fun.
And if you go to all of them and you're like the top person, you're gonna get 2 free tickets to Six Flags, so. That's a lot, yeah.
That was it. Sorry, I didn't go back to Tom.
All right, moving on to Matthew. Jake's gonna talk about the Story Awards. Oh, my bad, the initial filing period during Parliament, Asley's gonna talk about that.
Alright, so the initial filing period begins every year around the same time in April. So what essentially is, right, you guys all should join Parliament random times. Usually what happens is that you're only allowed to join Parliament during this initial filing period. So essentially, we have to vote tonight about the number of signatures and depending on if it's the constituency or if we're doing at large, because technically you guys are all at large. But what we're supposed to be like is that each department has their constituencies. So the constituencies are just like the humanity, mathematics, physical science, social science, education, at large residents, at large commuters, bylaw positions, non-student representatives. So these are all like different groups that we would need. Like if you're in that certain department or that certain major, you would only be required to, you would be required to get signatures from only those in your department and in your major. So if you're a communications major, you can't go to the School of Business and get, you can, but you can't go to like the nursing school and try and get signatures there because they're not within your department or your major. So that's something we have to vote on. I don't know if anybody has any questions about like what a constituency like means or about it.
I do have a question for that please. So I'm a philosophy major, and there's not a lot of philosophy majors week. So there's no way I can get 50 or 35 signatures from philosophy major.
So what it ends up being is that the number of signatures are based off the 25% of your total number of students in your major. So it will never be more than 50 signatures, but I think John was telling me that there's one major that there's only like 7 students in there. So like, yeah, so you would only get those 7, but I understand like sometimes it might be hard, like if you only have 7 people or like if you, maybe you don't know them or maybe you guys do know them. I don't know, the School of Business is big, so like I'm not, like I don't really know how that works on that side. But it's something for us to think about. Like at large, anybody can join, anybody can do anything. I know that we would like to go back to how things were prior to COVID in terms of like having each department represented, because I know reading off of like your petitions, a lot of the students here are psychology majors, which is nothing wrong with psychology majors. Literally, like, you guys are great. But it's like maybe we need more of a mix. Maybe we don't have any math majors. Maybe we don't have any human sciences. But like, so that's something to think about in terms of like the diversity here at the table. But it's up to you guys to vote. So whatever you guys want, I will go with it. If you guys want to do the constituencies, we can do it. If you guys want to do at large, we can do it. And then the signatures required were 35. We're thinking of bringing it back to the 50. Again, if we do go with the constituency route, it would be based off the 25% of your major, those students, so you'd be 25% of the student signatures. So 1, 2, 3, we're gonna vote. Let me know. We'll vote on the contingency and then we'll vote on the numbers afterwards. So
let's use this. Those who want to make it a large, raise your hand. A large.
All right, you guys understand what at large means?
she has a question.
Oh, sorry.
I do have a question. This was something that Sharon and I had kind of discussed a little bit before the meeting, and it was also whether, if it were to be at large, like to be able to get votes from everybody even outside of Parliament, even outside of your department. We also had the question of whether people within Parliament would be able to vote for each other,
So
which was another thing that we were kind of.
yeah, like you're talking about like if we, so essentially like the way that the initial filing period happens, right? We all fill out our petition. nobody, because then after our filing period, we go into like elections, and then elections is then like, that's 4/11 when elections declaration begins, but only those who have actually filled out the petitions could actually declare their candidacy for a parliament position or just anything like, that's also for class officers, it's for parliament officers, and then, do you have a question? Oh, okay, no, it's okay. And then there's declaration that ends for 18, the class, and then class elections. So I'll tell more about those dates, but what you're saying is like, if we can vote for each other, yeah.
Sign each other's
But
petitions.
it's gonna make it would be a conflict of interest because we're all parliament.
Wait, vote or sign?
Sign.
I'm sorry, I said vote. I
Yeah,
said
you
sign.
meant, okay, so that threw me off. No, everybody's allowed to sign anything. If it's constituency, you can't, you would have to go based off of your major. If it's at large, then anybody can sign it. Here, like it can be any major, anybody, full-time, part-time, as long as I believe they're not graduate students, because their signatures just, I have to get clarification on that. Their signature for some reason doesn't show up on our constituency book, so when we go to validate it, their names don't come up. So I don't know if that's only because we're filtering only undergrads and not graduates, so that's something that's still fishy. Not fishy, but it's not, yeah, exactly, it's not clear, so we'll have to find out. But did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, and then Carlos, you had a question?
Yeah, so for the constituency, would it be like 1 or 2 people per department, or how would that?
Yeah, so there's like set numbers, and I didn't bring my other sheet.
What was the question?
Like the set, yeah, there's usually, I think it's like 2, it's 2 per, yeah, like it's like 2 for commuters, 2 for something. Oh, I have my bylaws right here. Let me just show those. Yeah, well, like clearly now, I don't know how it's gonna go once we get our bylaws changed. It'll
It's
still
changed a lot.
be, yeah, because before, in terms of how many seats you need at the table, because before it was, you have 6 class representatives, so that's your senior class, junior class, sophomore class, and 3 freshman class. You have 8 residents, 2 from Penfield, 1 from each of the remaining halls, so Brown, Whipple, Sweet, the other ones, and 1 at-large resident student. You need 1 undergrad Greek life student, you need 6 commuters undergrad, you need 6 at-large undergrad students, and then 1 performing matriculating student, so that's basically an art student, 2 graduate students, 1 alumni, 2 faculty, 1 staff representative, and then they're on here. So those would be the set numbers that we would need. It would be like 8 from resident, yeah. So as long as those seats are filled,
But the thing is that it's gonna change by next, year, so we're gonna pass the bylaws, it doesn't matter next year.
yeah, in terms of like how many are from each constituency. Your question?
Yeah. Oh, no, I wanted to address that, because the bylaws, that's what we're gonna be voting on the bylaws for. We're just waiting for Dr. Dubois to go over it. She's gonna sit down with Tom this week. Yeah, or me too, or me as well, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna sit down. We made a lot of changes to it, where, see that long list, there was no need for that to be that long. So we've actually cut it down by percentages and stuff like that, to make it a whole lot easier. Because like, they're like, you gotta find 2 computers students, you have to find, I mean, like, it was way too specific. And our lawyer like told us like there's no way there's no reason for this to be this specific. So we did a lot of work on that. So there was something else I was going to mention that slipped my mind. So I won't hold up the rest of the time.
That's okay.
So the bottom line is that this,
All
the
right,
five.
Holly,
Okay, you gotta let me do this. Give me the speaker.
I have a question. Does that mean that I have to go back out and get all new signatures again?
Yep, everybody has, because this is
Everybody.
for 2023, 2024. This is for next year.
Oh.
So we do it, again, because of COVID, it's been weird, it's been a little bit relaxed, but essentially what it is in the semester, like the year before, you would have this initial filing period, which is right before the school ends. We would have our declaration, then we would, declaration would end, and then we would have elections for the specific positions of next year, April 29th. Let me just confirm that, but yeah, so that's just, we would all have to go get them. That's the thing, if we vote on the constituencies, then it would be those specific in your major. If we vote at large, it can be anybody in Donovan, anybody just anywhere. So, last question, then we're voting.
Yeah. So basically, after we do this vote, so this we need to do this because, like she's mentioned, elections are coming up.
And
So
the
everybody's job's on the line. So your job, my job, your job, everybody, and as well as the what they call cabinet members, So you're gonna have to re-interview, or anybody, there's gonna be an open period where people can reapply for it. We did it kind of late, because, the last.
It was just, there wasn't enough
There was-
people
yeah,
last
yeah,
semester,
yeah.
well, not last semester, last year when we did this last year, it was only 6 of us. Literally, I think the newest person was Matt Jakes,
Yeah.
so that's why, this year we're excited to have more people. And it should be interesting during elections. But enough about that, let's start off with the voting. Those in favor of constituencies, raise your fist. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. Those in favor of keeping it at large. So the at large have it. Okay. So now the thing is with the signatures.
Right now, who did what? No.
No, because it's just a general vote. I guess unless the
For his minute.
yeah, for instance, so it was Cardinal. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so those in favor, rate for the signatures to be 50. We're trying to, because, so I understand the jump from 35 to 50, it's only 15. And it sounds kind of scary at first, but essentially like 50 signatures is what we required initially. So once we return back to our original procedures and stuff, then we're gonna be going back to like the 50 sooner or later. So it's either like we do it now and start getting ahead, or we're just gonna hit us all at once next semester or next year when we have to do the constituencies and everything else. Dr. Valerie,
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I totally get that you want to do at large as opposed to constituencies, and part of that is the hassle of getting signatures. But I also, I'm going to emphasize this again, when you had constituencies, you could go back to the department and report on what happened at SCG and inform them. So I think one of the things is if you do the at-large, you have to figure out a communication strategy. What can you do to get the information out there? So when you have students, for example, reporting on events and things like that, or the Disney night that's coming up, that you can get the word out and that you have some obligation to communicate that out. And maybe that's through social media, maybe it's through individual announcements, maybe it's on some sort of an announcement board, things like that. But that's the one thing that goes by the wayside when you have so many at once. So I'm going to encourage you to think about that, how you can get the information out to students.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anderson, I appreciate that. 'Cause I didn't even think of that with the communication.
So basically, I spoke with Joan about this today, so we're doing it like this for now, but we're gonna go back to the old way eventually. It's just to catch up on it for this semester.
Yeah.
And that way we can start doing the elections. So we only have, what's the filing period again?
3 to March 27th, so
That's
this
when it
month.
starts, so that's why we have to do it at that point, that's why we have to vote today for it.
Okay.
But next semester, we plan on doing it that way.
The constituencies.
Next year.
No, that brought up a great idea of like, I didn't think of it, the communications to each of the departments, because then at least since we're going to be continuing with that at large, maybe we can appoint somebody from Parliament to have that, like if they're part of that matrix, to go and be that representative. And then that way we can do like a soft intro back to like how it used to be. Okay, and then so 50 signatures is what's gonna be the final. I just wanted to let you guys know. That one we don't really need to vote on. I said we need to vote. We don't, sorry, that's like the, just because like I said, guys, we're going back to the original ways, or at least how we used to do things. If you guys, feel like that's not right or anything, like speak up, let me know. Use your platform, your voice now, and just talk about it. Yep.
I don't want to attack that, but you mentioned that it used to be that way, but we also used to have over 10,000 students, and now we don't.
Yep.
So where does this number 35 and this number 50 come from? If it's based on a percentage of population, why would we go back to a number that was instituted when we had more students than we do now? That's my question.
So 35 was the last president's idea, because so 35 was the last president's idea. So after COVID, we had like absolutely just like 4 or 5 people, and it was really hard to get people to go out and go get the petition because people were nervous about have to like bring the signatures down so we can bring people back, and it worked. Like, yeah, more to empowerment, and that's why we went from 50 to 35. That was the had better than 35 people. So now that COVID is done, so we're trying to go back to 50. I have more voices on power, and we more voices. That's what we are.
I just wanted to add.
So I want to say that I would agree with going back to 50, just because, you know, student parliament is serious, and I feel like if we have it at large and 35, and like anyone can join essentially, because you can walk up to anybody and they'll sign for you just for signing. But if we have, you're more strict with what the guidelines are, the people that really want to do it are going to do it, and the people who are just doing it just because they might be discouraged from doing it because they weren't really serious about it, they're not going to go through all that hassle of actually doing it. And we have a better chance of getting people that are actually serious about it and going to dedicate and commit to it.
I would just agree with Frank. I would just do a study or, you know, do a number that actually is between 35 and 50. Just to make sense, like he said, population, why it was 50, it was because we were, you know, over 10K. So you have to pick, now we're around only 600, well, 6,000 individuals. That's including, you know, with the numbers, because it's 5,000 right now undergrad and 1,000 in grad school, so you have to consider that as well. You know, I think you guys should really talk about it, and then we should vote on it. If, you know, just find that sweet number and, you know, let us know what number it should be.
John.
This is just a quick thing, just to kind of address the question of like wanting people to be serious about being here. It's not like, yeah, it might be a little bit easier to weed out people that aren't serious with 15 votes, but I also think that participation, like in a culture of like wanting to be involved on this campus is lacking. And any way to keep people involved and to make things seem easier, at least to just start off with your participation. Because I know once you start coming to Parliament, you can kind of get more into it. At least that's how it was for me, so.
And that's why we have to do the positivity rate and support the teams. So
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's why I get out there.
So to go off of what Denver, let me just start, right? So yes, we should have done a study before, but I will be truth and I will tell you, I had to do the 35 signatures when we were on break, and I did it in 2 hours, and I got the 35 signatures when there's literally like nobody, I was on campus, and I had to do the petition twice because I wasn't technically enrolled, and then there's just a whole bunch of things. But anyways, so getting the 50 signatures, I understand the concern with like, you know, our enrollment is down and things like that, but you just said it's 6,000 people, all you need is 50. Like you already got 35, all you needed was like 15 more people. If you would have gone into like another room or another event, that's just 15 more people. Like, and the purpose of us increasing this number is not to be a headache on the students trying to get a petition, it's to raise the awareness of student government. Every time you talk to students to get a signature on this petition, you should be advocating for student government. You should be explaining what student government is. You should be like advocating for it. Like I said, like, you know, like let them know what it is. Some students literally when you walk around, they're like, what are you doing this for? What's student government? And it's like, that's your opportunity as a representative to represent student government and explain what's going on and how they can help and how they can participate, not just by signing this petition, but by actively getting involved. So that's why I'm more towards the 50 than I am the 35, just because it really is just 15 more people. That's 15 more people you can talk to. Maybe you can meet a friend, maybe you can meet a new person for the student government or another club, or maybe you can introduce them. There's a lot of students here, like you said, that there's a lack of involvement, but it's because students don't know, or like, if there's not somebody there telling you, like, hey, let's go over here, they're having an event, you're not gonna tell. You're gonna probably stay there and do your homework or just sit there. So if we have more people advocating and talking to more students, we can probably get the word out a little bit more.
Before moving on to the next, oh wait, he's coming. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So with that as well too, like you can mention this to like the class. I got a lot of people involved in this too as well. Like I class ends, can I like say something about student committee government? We got a couple people there, like, some of them aren't here anymore, but got a couple people in this, but just by the understanding of that, you know? So, like, your classmates are like the first people you should like try to recruit, you know what I mean? You see them all the time, you build relationships throughout the semester, you know what I mean? Like, the majority of people here came from Business Levy's class. They're all my classmates, you know what I mean? So, that's how we got so many people here, you know? So, and I encourage you to speak with your classmates, the athletes. I don't know if athletes are
They're students,
Yeah.
those are students, they're just doing an extracurricular.
I'm all set, sorry.
That's it. If you hear someone complaining about something on campus, just say, just join student government now.
Or do the survey.
Or do the survey. Two more combo. But,
Wait, can I just finish up? I just want you guys to remember the dates and to write that down. So the initial filing period is March 27th, and it goes until April 14th. So you have that, those 2 kind of weeks. Whoever brings back, you know, it goes in order of petition. Whoever brings back their petition the earliest can obviously then declare April 11th. So if you notice, there's an overlap between when declaration begins and when initial filing period ends. Like I said, those who bring in their petitions back originally, like at first, like the first ones, have the first chance to declare for a seat. If you want to be one of the officers, if you want to be a cabinet member, that is your chance. So definitely get it in as quickly as possible. And then 4/18 is when the declaration ends, so nobody else, unless you want to be a written-in candidate, will be able to be on the ballot for elections for that position. So elections will be class officers, so class officers are your junior class, your freshman class, your sophomore class. They also have their declaration during the same period, so keep that in mind if you are, or if you want to run, or if you know somebody that wants to run for one of the executive board positions for those classes, because their election begins April 24th. And then ours will be on our last day of Parliament, which is sign dine, which is April 26th, which will be our last Parliament of the semester. And like I said, we will have the options to do elections for the officers, and we will have members joining. So if anybody has any questions, let me know, reach out to me. I will keep in mind that study though for next year, or for whoever is the VP, so that they can keep in mind for that constituency number, or not constituency, but yeah. But that's it, so if anybody else has questions.
my friend told me he wanted to join Parliament. Should I can I just give a petition?
No, so the only ones that are allowed to hand out petitions are those who are part of the elections commission. So you have.
But could I have one of you guys give them do it tomorrow, or you're going to wait until filing period?
So it depends on what semester, because the initial filing period, the one that starts March 27th, this is all for next year. So that's the school year of 2023 to 2024, so fall and spring of next year. If he wants to join right now, he can take out a petition literally after this meeting. We can go and grab we can tell him to come, we can have him fill it out and get the 50 signatures, or the 35 signatures that he would need right here.
We have to do it again though.
Oh, yeah.
And then he would have to do it again, yeah, of course, during that initial filing period. So it's up to you. If he wants to join now, he can. Realistically, we only have, because we have next meeting, which is where we talk about our budgets, which is the 29th, and then the meeting after that, which is the 5th, we talk about non-satisfied, and then our second to last is the 19th, and then our last meeting is the 26th. So we realistically only have 4 meetings left. So keep that in mind, guys, only 4 meetings left. If you guys want to bring up anything, if anything must be brought to the table, that's all that we have. But yeah.
Sure.
Right now, I don't know how many people are in sessions, but I think it's me, you, and Will, and that's it. And Crystal. So, will be a conflict of interest. Could I validate my own petition with someone else?
No, so that's why we would have somebody else validate your petition for you. Nobody can, because I can't even, we can, it would be either, because this is what sucks, is that only the VP and the, only you and I will be able to validate.
He can do it for me too. Because he's the chief of staff.
Yeah, but during, because, it would be weird, we'll talk about that after, I guess, because it gets funky because technically, we lose our positions, but then we have to validate petitions, so it's only certain numbers, so it's the president and the VP are only allowed to validate petitions, so So like over the summer, we were validating petitions for students, and it was only like us two, because technically like Parliament didn't start until the fall. So that's just something that would be, not really concerning to you guys, but more concerning to us when we have to validate petitions. But you cannot validate your own petition, so like I can't validate my own petition either. I would have somebody else do it for me, and then, did that answer your question?
So basically, when the new parliament year begins, no one would have a position because everyone would be technically off hard until they get their new petitions.
That would be like after sign time, which would be after April 26th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so until there are new officers elected, like we're still in office until after.
After the 26th, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Just guys, everything that she said is very important. Like, get out there, you know, when you get your petition signed and everything, I highly encourage everybody, go for every available seat that you can. If you're really passionate about it, come for president. Do it. I want people to do it. That's what being on student government is. You know, we had what was it, the deputy speaker election. That was a really big one. Now imagine it's gonna be like all the positions up for that. You know what I mean? So I encourage everybody run for everything. You know what I mean? If you're interested and you're really passionate about it, do it. And if you lose that one, you can write it for the next one. So I know it's gonna be a long night, but that's what politics is about. That's what's gonna do.
I just wanted to say, sorry, Matt Jakes actually did that. He's like living proof.
Yeah.
Like he signed up for every single seat, regardless if there was somebody already there to be elected or not, or like ballot, whatever, declaring. He was there. He wrote his name. He said a speech, and although he didn't win right then and there, he's here. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's secretary, guys. Like, he persevered and continued on because this is something that he was passionate and he wanted. So literally, like, this is something that you guys should be passionate about. And if you're not, then figure out like how you can be and what you need, because this is something that is great, not just for your resume, but we're doing something here, guys. So, and your leadership skills and things.
And also, you have to be passionate about it because it's very
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming, very hard, and you just have to like love exactly what you do because we don't love it, you're gonna like.
You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it because there's no like reward essentially unless you love it. So that's.
If you treat this like just being in our club and like you end up being part of it, you're going like, oh, I'm just in student government, it's a club. Good luck.
Yeah. And the pay's not that good either. So.
It's not that good. It's very hard, but if you love it, you're gonna enjoy it. Because
I don't even know why I keep doing it. I just keep doing it. All right. All right.
No, it's a declared 50. That one we don't have to vote on. Sorry. Yeah.
We gotta vote on that now?
No. So we don't, like, I said we had to vote on that, but that one we don't vote on. I apologize. I misspoke. We only vote on the constituency. The number is elected by, like, the elections commission, the designee.
So
We're good, yeah, because we voted on the commit at large.
But wait, quick question. Didn't you have to vote on it because you made it temporarily 35 last year, so technically you have to vote again?
Yep, if you guys want, we can do that. That's, yep, you can do that, that's fine.
Oh wait, we don't need to vote on that because it was temporary for COVID.
I know, that's the thing, but you did switch it temporarily, so you had to switch it back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All those in favor with the 50 votes?
Get a motion.
Oh, can I get a motion to vote for those who are in 50s?
Second by Carlos.
Aye.
Let him do it, let him do it.
All right. All those in 50 votes?
Yeah.
All those in favor of 50 signatures, say aye.
Well, like, no, you have to see who.
Oh, and put your thing up.
Yeah. You don't have to say aye if you don't want to.
All right.
Say nay.
All right. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Motion passed. All right.
Thank you guys.
We're moving on to Matthew Jakes, who's going to talk about the Storky Awards.
Thank you, Tom. All right, so first up, of course, on Friday, April 14th, our annual stories event, which we are bringing back this year for the first time since 2019, will be at the Crown Plaza in Warwick from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. The stories theme this year will be Under the Sea, and we're going to name it Anchors Away. We will be inviting all members of SCG, SCG alumni, certain members of grant administration staff, and we'll also be inviting 4 students from each org and their advisor or advisors. If there are extra slots after the due date for the invitation forms after they're due, we'll be dividing those slots up among the student orgs that have filled out the invitation forms up to that point and sending it back to the student orgs to submit more people to go to the stories. Does anyone care about any questions about the stories?
Wait, so it was, are students voting, like when does that start?
So the nomination ballots are actually out right now. They're due tomorrow. So the Dean of Students actually sent out the ballot last week, so last Wednesday, if I recall correctly. So
And you said, sorry.
Was it?
You said the event is from 5 to 10?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Guys, I can't say that it's mandatory. I told them I would mention this, but I highly suggest everybody go there. I mean, this is your awards. This is award for all the organizations. If you're part of any organizations, encourage your members, your constituents to go there. You're part of the disc golf group. You're part of Lasso. You're part of ballroom dancing. I know some of you are. Tell your friends that they have to come to this. This is your awards. You recognize your fellow, like, club, what would you call it? Club mates, I guess? Yeah, the organization members, you know what I mean? Like, this is something big. It's like, Adriana was talking about, we don't have that much, what was the word she used? Yeah, student involvement, this is where it starts. If you start recognizing your peers and giving them awards for stuff, it's gonna make them wanna come back and do it again next year, you know what I mean? So I highly encourage, I can't tell you that it's mandated to go, but everybody will please be there, please, okay? Thank you.
All right, and then I'm going to open the floor back to James. He's trying to be the 21 points event discussion.
Okay, so we had mentioned last meeting about starting up a 21 plus event. Cindy, what's Cindy's last name? Kozel wanted us to have our first alcohol event on campus. So I had an idea of a casino theme, but my friends here talked me into a wine and paint and wine and paint, and it's be called SCG Unwind. Thanks to you. But so we're looking for people to help us set up. It's going to be a great time. We're looking. Did we already start setting up Gauge 200 or requesting it?
We're still in the process of preparing everything. We definitely need everybody's help, anybody who can help, and again, for setting up things, or even just helping the planning part, definitely come to us, reach out to us, and like come to the office so you can help us out with those, because the more the merrier.
If you're available, we're going to be meeting on Sunday from 1 o'clock to 3. So if you're on campus or around and you want to join and be here, yeah, come through. We're here. So, I'll move right into the next one since anything. But bowling, we're going to be doing the bowling. Everybody, you're more than welcome. Raymond, you too. You're part of the family. You're always here with us. We've decided on April 19th to do this. So this will be, is that a Parliament night?
No,
it is a Parliament night. So this will be right after Parliament. So we can all carpool up there. We're going to be paying for everything for you guys. So, just to show you guys how much we appreciate everything you guys do, all the time you guys put in, and, just to have that camaraderie, you know what I mean?
Earlier you said it was on the 27th, now you said the 19th,
Yeah.
which is it?
The 19th. We were going to do the 27th, but we had the block party coming up on the 27th, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we couldn't do it. There's a lot of stuff going on in that week. It's going to be like finals going on and a lot of different stuff. So we decided to go with the 19th. Any other questions or concerns? No? All right. So I yield the floor back to, right. I yield the floor back to you.
All right, I'm going to yield the floor forward to evaluate interest for faculty update.
Yeah, I don't have a lot because I'm off cycle with meeting with the president, but I do have a couple of things. The Hope Scholarship, which is the legislation that's going through the General Assembly right now that gives free tuition during your junior and senior years if you make the qualifications for it. They're trying to reconcile the bill. The governor put it in a supplemental budget, which is a really good sign that it's going to happen. And they're trying to make it retroactive too for current students. We don't know how that's going to work, but that's part of the suggestion that they're doing. There's a companion bill that also includes CCRI students, so they can have 2 years free tuition at CCRI and then come direct for 2 years of free tuition. And so there's all these different versions that are going through that they're trying to reconcile. And I believe that the administration is going to call for student support, and that will mean having you contact your General Assembly member or your state legislator and talking to them about the Hope Scholarship. And there will be opportunities to testify at the State House, and I'm hoping SCG members will certainly do that. They'll actually train you on how to do that. It'd be a tremendous experience for you to do. So stay tuned on that. The General Assembly meets until June, and typically this probably will come through around April or May. I attended an extended President's Executive Cabinet, and one of the conversations was about the town hall. And I want to congratulate all of you on a very successful town hall. And Vice President Kozel put together a summary sheet of what were some of the requests that came through. And they are dividing it out according to members of the administration and working on it now. They want to get a lot of that. They want to get a lot of that instituted this semester, not wait until the fall. So stay tuned, and I'll report back what I hear. From council, we have a committee on online education, and they're working on guidelines for online classes, like the limitations on class size, more consistency with teacher training, more consistency with Blackboard sites. Also, one of the things that came up in the town hall that I understand was training for faculty and students on the Blackboard Ultra. And I was really happy to see that you folks saw that faculty need to be trained as well. And so there does need to be a great deal more consistency if we are going to offer these classes. And I also wanted to say that the Convocation Committee is working on a plan, a possible plan to bring graduation back. That won't happen this year, but perhaps in future years back to the Rick campus. I also wanted to ask a question, if it's okay. How many of you are on council committees, were appointed to council committees? Okay. Have you attended a council committee? Have you received an invitation to attend? Yeah. How many people have not that are on council committees? Okay. Because I want to talk to the council chairs about that, because I had asked them to be especially considerate of student schedules, because you're busier than we are, and because you have a class schedule and work schedule. And if there are people here who have not received invitations, or they did not take your schedule into consideration, do let me know about that, and so that I can talk to the council chairs, because we really do need student input on those council committees. Okay, that's it for tonight.
So if you guys don't know what the council committees are, that's remember when you first signed up, you had to do 2 committees on for Parliament, for SCG, and then one for SCG and one for the college. if you had some that were already filled, because they only have a certain amount of seats. So if you're interested in joining anything, I have a couple slots that we can probably fit you in. If you're interested, you can reach out to me afterwards. Most of them, they're actually chosen by the college, if I'm not mistaken. We just suggest who we think would be a good fit for it. So if you're interested in that, reach out to myself or reach out to Asley. Mr. Jakes, I think we do as well, right?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Jakes as well. And Asley, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, is it required? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
to be on at least
Yeah,
one
but if-
college committee?
Yeah, but if you, let's say you picked online education thing, right? And it's full, I wouldn't have appointed you to, because there's no way to appoint you to it, so, you know what I'm saying?
And then just what was so is it like our responsibility to say like, okay, I'm on this committee?
No, I have to appoint somebody. Well, Matthew Thurston appointed people last semester, and then that's why I brought up the last meeting we had, was it? Yeah. So remember last meeting when I said some people aren't on committees, or some people aren't on the thing? And that's why I said, if you're not on any committee, come upstairs and speak to me. And, yeah, so if you're not on any committees, again, come speak to me, so. Sorry, I yield the floor back.
Okay, we yield the floor to Arthur Patrick for staff updates.
Good evening. On behalf of PSA and myself, I have to echo what Dr. Andrews said. I think you guys pulled off a first-class town hall. And I think the product that you got from it and the way that it was handled was impressive. SCG is on its way back. I say that because it wasn't about a gripe session. It was about what we need and how we can help. So my hat's off to you guys, and PSA commends you as well. Same goes with the survey. Now the bad news. I've been here a couple of minutes, maybe a little bit longer than a couple of minutes in my career. This is the time of the year that things fly. Got 4 meetings left, a lot to do, and let's not forget that almost everybody here is a student too. So, guys, we urge you, PSA urges you to be diligent with your time, prioritize. School's the most important, and then you still have some unfinished things with SCG. Thank you.
TV. I watched the whole thing, and it was really amazing meeting. Also, just the fact that you're a full house here, you're speaking so well to the points of what you're supposed to be doing and wanting to be doing, and it's really incredible. So congratulations to you getting student government to this point where it's like really great. So keep it going, and I'm just so proud of all of you. But I will point out 4 things on behalf of the Dean of Students, one of which will be the block party, but I'm going to do the 4 things in order. First of all, Saturday, April 1st is the college's Accepted Students Day. It's run by the admissions department. It'll be over in the Murray Center, and students who have applied and who have been accepted get one last chance to come on campus and see if Rhode Island College will be your college of choice. And so the admissions crew puts together a big festival. There's a big schedule. There's panels and tours, and you go here, you go there, and such. But the second half of the day will be for student activities and student success to have a festival in the Murray Center. So I'll be there. I'm inviting students tomorrow. I'll send out a notice inviting all student organizations who would like to have a table to showcase the kinds of things you're doing. And essentially, you could be already recruiting members for next year, because if some of them are already decided on, right, you could say, hey, sign here, I'll keep in touch with you. And who would want to show up to the college you might be going to or just decided to go to, and you meet students, and they want you to join their club as soon as you come to campus. So it is kind of a potential opportunity for a benefit to your group also. So I'll be inviting student groups to have tables there. Yes.
With that invitation, is it, gonna be sent via email for
Yes.
organizations? to
Yes,
request a
I have it
table?
all drafted and ready, I'll be sending it out tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's like a fill a form, like what's it called?
Wait.
Yeah, similar to a Google form.
Is it a Google form?
Actually, I was gonna say, just email me.
Okay.
But I could, maybe I'll make a form, and that would make it easy for you to get everything. Especially if they get a big turnout, I think I should definitely Google form. I'll do one tonight, do it. Yes, but I'd love to have all of you, bring your tables in. And also the last activities fair we had, the tables were phenomenal. There's like a big boost in what people are putting out there, and I'd love to have that there, to show these freshmen and their potential freshmen and their families. Secondly, so we do a student leadership awards, and nominations have already been in, and we have more than 80 students who have been nominated for the 7 categories, and I'm super excited about that. And there'll be a ceremony on Tuesday, April 11th, in the ballroom at 6 o'clock. Everyone who is nominated gets named and gets to come up and get a certificate, and then each of the categories, one person is selected to represent the pinnacle level of what that award is all about. I would love, so you'll be getting an invitation. It's open to everybody. Anyone can come, but I'll be sending something specific to student government. Also on April 19th, which is a Wednesday, there'll be something called Fresh Check Day. I don't know if you've heard about it yet. There'll be a festival on the quad run through the Dean of Students office, where there'll be tents and tables. And the whole focus of it, though, has to do with promoting mental health. It's a part of a national campaign that's through like a grant where this foundation funded development of this concept, and then their mission is to like deliver the concept and the branding out to every college who wants to sign in, and then you pick your date and you go along with their kind of their program standards, and you have your Fresh Check Day. And if you go on the Fresh Check Day website, you'll see there's hundreds of schools all over the country, including probably everyone around the neighborhood of Rhode Island, all having a festival like this at their school. And Rhode Island College is now listed as one of those schools. So what they're going to do is kind of put out a form where your group could sign up for a table, but the idea isn't to promote your group. Your idea is to do something kind of fun at the table or educational at the table to promote any aspect of a mental health. And so and then also the invitation also gives you a link to an idea bank that other schools they've all contributed to. So there's 50 ideas that other schools did. And for instance, that could be like, oh, you could have a big trash bucket and you could put balls in it, and the person comes over and you could tell them, oh, push down on the balls and then see what happens. It's like representing like stress and stress relief, I don't know, something like that. But there are these little fun games you do that kind of show people about kind of the issues they might be facing and ways to relieve them or find resources and stuff like that. So it's called Fresh Check Day. That's in my email also, is how you can sign up for a table for that also. And then, so then there's an event called Rick End. Rick End means the end of the semester. It's not a weekend, it's the week of events that happen, like your blowout spring week festival. Most schools have events like that. The name Rick End has been here since I was a student, which was a long time ago, and now we're still going on. We're doing it the last week of classes. Yes.
What day does it begin?
It's going to begin on the 24th of April, and on the 29th. So the first one is going to be Rick's Got Talent. So the activities just put it all together. We're doing all auditions, so you can send in your video or audition live, and we're doing it up, and they're going to pick like a compilation of the best entertainment over a variety of entertainment talents, and we're going to do a big show, and I think the winner's going to be like $500 or something. So we're really like beefing it up and making that one of our kickoff events called Rick Got Talent. Then on Tuesday, the 25th, is going to be a drag bingo extreme. We've hired these drag queens who are going to come and do this incredible show and do bingo. And again, extreme means big prizes, big money, big fun. The Wednesday, we typically do an outdoors festival. We're going to do an arts festival. We have some community organizations there and different groups on campus who can showcase their arts, you know, theater, music, dance, kinds of things. We'll have chocolate square, maybe, anyway, we have a lot of ideas for that. And then I'm gonna go to the end of the week and then go back to the Block Party. Thursday will be the Block Party, I'll talk about that in a second. Friday, we're gonna do a Red Sox game in Boston, and Saturday, I think Red Light might do a prom that they've done in the past that was super popular a couple years ago. They're gonna bring that back for Saturday night. To roll back to Thursday, the 27th, we're gonna do a block party along with the dining center and student government, and we met briefly with a few people, and there's a subcommittee to talk about what that might look like. It's the last Thursday of classes. People will be really busy, but we're gonna have a big barbecue and inflatables and the rock wall and music. Maybe a food truck or two or whatever. We're gonna try to look into whatever we might do. And there'll be, and we're also looking for student groups who might contribute like an interactive thing. There's all kinds of vendors out there that could do like the, you know, the Stuff-A-Bear or one idea was like, I think hats or caps with like, with airbrushed names, or, you know, there's things you can walk up, you've all seen it before, but maybe we can get some new things that are exciting and have that outside as well. So a group of us will be meeting on Friday to talk about that. So those are some upcoming events. Thank you.
Frank was first, sorry.
I just have a really quick question. So you mentioned the Student Leadership Award Ceremony. Can you clear up what time that was again? I think
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on April 7th?
11.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Tuesday, April 11th.
Okay, thank you.
I hope I got nominated.
Thank you.
Oh, so I just had, 2 questions. One question was, does anybody know if has anybody did the sex toy bingo this semester or this year? I don't know. Cause that's usually like once a year. You said Jack should.
That asked for Pride Line, they're the one that does it.
Yeah, the fire line does that.
Oh, we didn't ask for
Yeah.
Pride.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna do it on April 27th. Yeah, it's April 27th.
Everything.
Yeah, literally everything is, so we're just like organizing, we have like the date already, we're just gonna organize who's hosting it. Cause I don't think it's us, it's gonna be another, I think it's gonna be like a store. So, yeah, April 27th, so it's official. Official. It's gonna be from 6 p.m. So pretty much at the end, like, we're just gonna have a certain like amount of like sex toys, maybe like less than 15. Once those are done, we're done. So pretty much, the plan is we're gonna like pretty much try to like have like the students register just to see an amount of how many people are gonna come in. Like I said, we're not hosting it. It's like a store, a special store that's gonna come in with everything. It's gonna be educational, so it's just not just pretty much about toys and all that. It's pretty much really educational. But yeah, hopefully it's fun.
It is. So back to, so thank you for answering that question. I wanted to know, because like, she brought up the bingo, and I'm like, they always do it, and it's honestly, it's one of the best events, it's like so much fun. You're just playing bingo, like, get the sex toy out of your head, like, it's okay, whatever, there's gonna be sexual things. It's part of life, it's okay. It's okay. But they do a really good job at explaining things and like educating and like encouraging people to like normalize it a little bit, because you know, we're so like taboo, but it's so much fun. Yeah.
And it's super informational, so.
It's a fun night. Yeah, highly recommend. And then my second question, Kristen, I had a question about like the vendors. Could we open up the option to ask if anybody knows of an outside vendor that might be eligible to like, or might want to either to promote their stuff or have a booth?
So we're still in the idea phase. We'll solidify the program, but why not get some ideas right out? Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, so no, we're just looking for ideas of like vendors, because we've done something like what's it called, Pride Fest last year. They had vendors from like local artists, local people who were just selling their items and their stuff, which is, I think it's really cool, because you're bringing like the local community exactly around, and it gives people an option to like buy things that aren't just like work related. So I think it's beneficial, but I just really wanted to open it up to anybody who had any vendors or know of anybody who sells some things. I know Eddie sells his t-shirts. I wish he was here. Maybe he could have sent somebody, but happy Friday or whatever you
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
So, I understand for these events, we're gonna have like flyers and advertisements and things like that, but is there like a way where we can see all the future events in one platform? Something like a calendar or something on,
I think
what's
it's
that?
in the bistro, right?
We have it right here outside this bulletin board. You can go straight to it and scan it. Like it's there. The QR code is still there. No, their QR code. Yeah, because you guys update that QR code, that calendar.
It's
right?
always been a challenge to find one central place for everything, and this year we're moving the needle, all right? The college's website, I know people aren't really used to looking at websites now for like everything, but we were able to get the college's calendar on the front page of the website, and we made the URL, eric.edu/events. And if you go there, there's a calendar now, and we're trying to promote it just like as that link, and then with the QR. And we've done student activities is really trying to like stop long enough to get our stuff loaded there, but now we gotta get like everybody's stuff up there, because right now everyone's shooting in every direction for this website and this and this and this flyer, and there's no central place. So I need to help, I need to build a campaign, like this semester's pretty much over, so we'll just do what we can, but for the fall, to have every single event that somebody is doing, to get it on that one place, because then you just see everything in a linear order with a cool picture and a description and links to register, to get it so everyone can see what's going on. So when someone says there's nothing going on, it's just go to one place, and you and your families and everyone, faculty and staff, everyone can see all these incredible things going on, and right now only a limited contribution to that. But yeah, it's a really good question. Thank you. You're welcome.
So that's kind of the question I was gonna ask as well. Like, so you got the calendar part right. So right now everything's getting congested right now because we're going towards the end of the semester. So he just mentioned that it was the 27th. We want to do the bowling on the 27th, and then your events on the 27th. There's a lot of things going on. So I want to piggyback on what you said about the calendar. How would a student organization be able to promote on the calendar? And who approves what gets on the calendar? And like, is there operating a standard order procedure or something like that, SOP or something like that?
So right now there's like a way to do it, but so it's to email Carrie Miller. She's
Carrie
the
Miller?
new webmaster for the college website.
Yeah, we didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
I know we heard about the calendar, but we didn't know how to get stuff on the calendar and stuff like that. They just said, we got a calendar now.
So it's to email the web team, anyone on the web team, but
The
yeah.
email's the web team.
But that would be like Carrie Miller. See, this is the problem right now, is that we don't really have like a central place with instructions to do everything. So, you know, I'm just telling you verbally, but if you go to the college website, Carrie Miller or Andrew Sandlin or
Andrew
Sandlin or Karen Rubino. And then Karen Rubino, you could just email one of them, just one. But I will tell you, so as another one quick thing, my job just shifted in December, so now I'm doing activities and I didn't have enough time, but I already have like a whole handbook for student groups to like see how to do everything written down in one place, and I just don't have enough time to finish it now because I'm in the middle of so much. But we'll pep away at some of these kinds of things, but next year you'll have like, you know, to put your event on the website, you know, this is who you talk to do this, you know, we'll have it all out so we can get things done without having to hear it word of mouth in one place.
I was wondering, you said you needed, like, you don't have time to kind of finish that book. Maybe somebody from Parliament, if you guys are interested and could have the time. I really want to, I literally don't have any time. Like, I really don't have any time, but I really want to be a part of this.
But to get into it, let's do it like the end of May, like,
Yeah.
I'll do it after classes, and that's the best time for me to like finish it once and for all, to get it all done.
Yeah. So if
Is
anybody's
anybody-
interested, go to Kristen, help her out. You guys want this can only be done if somebody knows. Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's awesome, thank you.
Andrews?
This question is for Kristen. Is senior, weekend the same as senior week? Is there a senior week? Is there going to be a senior week?
So weekend is different, because weekend is for the whole student body. Senior week is more geared towards seniors, and there will be a senior week, the week leading up to graduation. And all of it though, right now, is coordinated through the senior class officers, through their senior class budget. Casey, their advisor is Casey, who works in my office, so we have a hand in it. But it's whatever those officers are able to create for that week leading into senior graduation. And they do have some events, but I think they're still navigating how to get the most out of what their resources can provide. But there will be something specific for seniors.
Okay, my question is, this came up on faculty's social media site, and that faculty said way back when, let's say 20 years ago, that final exams were optional for students. They had more free time at the end of the academic year to partake in these activities. You were here a way back. And do you remember that they used to have some kind of a thing where final exams could be optional? And what they were trying to do is to free up time for students to do these kinds of activities and like go to the Red Sox and things like that by easing off. And faculty are pretty intrigued by that. In thinking that particularly for seniors, but also for, it seems for Rick and students, that wouldn't be a bad way to end the week. I think the faculty would be interested in talking about that, to see if that would be a possibility.
I think senior week has always been the week after exams before commencement, when exams were done. So I don't remember that ever being an institutional thing. Maybe some faculty members say, if you have an A, you don't have to take your exam, but I don't recall anything more specific.
Yeah, Quimby was talking about that, that it used to be a policy. We'll just check into it. We'll see.
Val, one thing that we did have, the exams didn't seem to go as late or end as close to commencement as they have in the last 10 years.
Okay, so that allowed for more free time too. Okay.
James? Already asked. Sorry.
William.
This is a question for Christina. You mentioned about the art show event that's going on. Is that only for our students or Rick, or if you do art outside school, you can still showcase?
I just want anything people want to do, bring it in, bring it in.
I'll be there.
It's still in the planning stages. If you have
Alright.
ideas, please let
I'll
me
see you
know.
around.
I'd love that.
Alright.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on to appointments, resignations, and vacancies.
We have 3 appointments, actually 1 resignation as well. Matthew Jakes resigned from the Finance Commission. He's had a lot of stuff on his plate at the moment. He's got a mortgage going on, a lot of stuff with his frat and soldier and stuff like that. Very, very busy man on campus. As well as he just had to do a bunch of the minutes for all the things. So yeah, he's been very, very busy, very, very busy. So taking his place on Finance Commission, I've appointed. Well, not taking his place because the slot was open this time. I don't mean like, filling that slot will be Richard Garcia, which I appointed last night. Richard, congratulations. We appointed William Dempsey as a non-parliament member to the Elections Committee. He's not here. He's a great guy. He's part of the Finance Commission as well. And he wants to do a lot more with student community government. Like he came here just to do the finance, and he's part of the
Accounting association.
Accounting Association. Yeah, so he's the treasurer, and he's very impressed with everything that we do here, and he's probably gonna be joining Parliament.
I don't think so because of his work schedule, because he works overnight, but I think he would want to, but.
Yeah, I don't think he works.
Yeah.
So he's, now, he's been appointed to the elections committee as a non-parliament member. He's not here, but can we give him a round of applause, please? We have a student, Dan Clark. Dr. Edris asked us to appoint him. He's been chosen by the school for the Committee on College Missions and Goals. We had someone appointed the last year, and from my understanding, you said that every semester it has to be.
Yeah, what happened is that Mission and Goals changed its bylaws so that it's going to be in charge of the strategic plan, which is a plan that the college puts together for the next 5 years. And that student has to be of junior status because they have to work on that committee for 18 months. So we actually reconstituted the entire committee because the bylaws changed.
Oh, was this student, this other student, was he or she notified about it, or?
Pardon me?
Was the person?
Yeah, I'm notified, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
But I will follow up.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
So we're appointing Dan Clark to the Committee of College Missions and Goals. Round of applause for Dan Clark. Again, pretty soon we're going to be having a lot of openings because the election is going to be coming up. So start getting your speeches ready, get those signatures, and prepare for more than one round, like we all know for that last one. So it's going to be a long night. So I yield the floor back to Speaker Fura.
All right, we're just going on to issues of Parliament members.
Sorry, we're looking for students to work with the Rhode Island Manufacturing Association. It's about 8 to 10 hours per week, and essentially what it is somebody, they're gonna be making posts for their account, so you kind of have to have some type of writing skills. If you are interested in that, please reach out to the Dean of the School of Business, Marianne Raimondo. She will be the person for that, but definitely, if you're interested, they're looking for students. And then there's 2 events that the School of Business is hosting next week. It's a resume workshop, which is Tuesday the 21st at 12:30 in Alger 110. And then they're going to be doing mock interviews. So it's kind of like a whole session of, they're working with the Career Development Center. So the mock interviews, it's 3/28, so March 28th at 4:30 to 6:30, and that's in room 105. They have flyers up already if you walk into. No, but better like write it down. Better like write it down. So if you guys go into the Alger Hall, they have some flyers up, and there's some in our bulletin there. So definitely keep an eye out. And then just to piggyback off of what Kristen was saying about the senior week and like senior activities, if you are a senior, definitely connect with either Casey, their advisor, or Shannon McDonald, who is the senior class president, because they are, of course, the ones that are in charge of planning those events. So if you want to see something, if you want to participate, those are the people to reach out to and to get more information. I don't think anybody's seniors, but if you are, definitely reach out and then let us know. I don't know. No, you're good. You guys don't have anything. I was thinking about like the chords, but we don't have seniors. Yeah, the SCG chords for graduation. But I don't know. Oh, you are?
So we have to get you like an SCG code during class meeting.
Oh, Jillian!
So, can you guys do me a favor, like come into the office tomorrow and just tell me so if I can order your card before I forget, please. Because I'm gonna forget.
And reach out to Shannon or Casey for your senior week events, okay, guys? Congratulations. You guys are great. That's it.
No, I'll go last.
Go ahead.
Okay, so not to beat a dead horse, but I just want to take another moment to appeal to all of you, not just for yourself to do the survey, but if you have friends here, I'm sure that many students here have expressed concerns to you as members of student government over the past semester and beyond, about things at RIC that they might want to change. And this is our opportunity to do that, because without speaking and expressing your concerns, nothing's going to happen. So if you have lots of friends that come to RIC, just send them the link or the QR code, and I would be happy. You make me happy. So I
filled out, man. Like, just be like, yo, like, just be like, yo, I know you got problems in the college, like, fill this out, we're trying to do something about it. Like, no more than that. Alright, James.
You go first.
Yeah, sure. All right, so just a quick reminder, please fill out the nomination ballots. Also, the voting ballots are coming out on either Friday or latest on Monday. So please get those filled out, sent back. Voting ballots will include a raffle for Target gift cards for $50 or for $25. And invitations will be sent out for organizations and individuals for SCG and college administration at some point in the next week or so. All right, I yield.
James.
Again, guys, I mentioned before that Michelle from downstairs at the library, she's gonna be needing help. April 17th for we're gonna be handing out cap and gowns. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, please reach out to Michelle. Everybody knows her downstairs at the bookstore. Sweet lady. She has like over 1,000 or 2,000. So a lot. It's that think about a lot. So we're gonna try to make shifts. So if you can reach out to her early, she can put you on a shift, and then we can help out and get all our fellow graduating, or not fellow, not graduating, all the graduating students their hats and gowns early and make it just expedite the whole endeavor for them. Another thing, seriously guys, if you guys are available on Sunday, please come in. We'll be here. If you also don't have our number, you can call the office or I'll give you my number afterwards, and we'll let you get in here. I think the doors are open. Yeah, because ballroom dancing comes in.
No, we can probably
Yeah.
We can probably talk to
All right.
somebody.
I can probably reach out to the police. Yeah. Well, Sunday we'll be here from 1 to 3, and we'll start working on the parties and stuff like that. So, other than that, thank you very much everyone for coming, and you look forward back. I'm sorry. One more thing. I'd like to thank Dr. Andres, Kristen Salami, Mr. Patry, and Darcy for all the commitment you guys made. I'd like to be here every day. I know it's been a long ride, but it's getting there. It's just going to get better. So I just want to tell you guys we really do appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
All right, we got to do that, take roll call.
Yep.
All right, James Torres.
Present.
Asley Corrales.
Here.
Myself is here still. Bobby.
Buck is here.
Thomas Vera. Frank Costello. Sharon Browder.
Present.
Gianna Monica.
Present.
Holly Beth Desmond.
Present.
Crystal Ferreira.
Present.
Talia Ford. Richard Garcia. Lola.
Present.
She was ready for it.
Jennifer Gonzalez.
Present.
Jillian Harris.
Present.
Carlos. Present. Lydia Luther.
Present.
William.
Present.
Pierce Mott.
Present.
Urban.
Present.
Gianna Rose. Eddie Vera is absent. And Dr. Valerie Entres.
Present.
Dr. Patry.
Present.
And Darcy Dubois is absent.
Mr. Salami is
Looking for a motion to adjourn the meeting. First by Sharon, second by Fabio. Meeting is adjourned. All in favor? Abstentions?
President James Torres, Vice President Asley Corrales, thank you both so much for giving me your time for a post-Parliament meeting interview. I just want to start off with the first thing, one of the first of many things that was mentioned. President Torres, you talked about a possible 21 plus event being in the works. Can you talk a little more about it?
Yes, sir. We initially wanted to try to have a casino event, which we're actually going to be working on for the next semester or the end of the semester. Yet. We're still talking about it, but we just want to have something for the 21 plus crowd on campus. And we want to slowly bring alcohol into the on campus, like we said before, with it go from a dry campus to a damp campus to a bar.
Yeah.
So hopefully that happens. But the 21 plus event is going to be a wine and painting event, so we called it SCG Unwind. We thanked Gianna Del Monaco. Was it Del Monaco? Yeah, one of the Giannas came up with the thing. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be the 19th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. April 19th, I think it was. I'll come back with you on the date, but I have it written down out there. But yeah.
Speaking of the event itself, where are you in the process of getting that to happen?
We're meeting on Sunday, so we're gonna get this done as soon as possible. We don't want to lollygag on anything. So.
Who would pay for the event, including the alcohol that's being sold?
That's gonna be SCG.
All from SCG funding?
Yep, so it's just for the students. We're inviting all art students. We're all inviting all the students from here. We're trying to set it up where we have people actually RSVP so we can check people's birth dates and stuff like that, so they can actually come there and we can't have anybody under 21 in an alcohol event, so.
And the funding for that, is that different than the pot of funding that's going to other organizations?
I believe so. I'm not sure where exactly it come from.
Can you repeat that? You said the funding for the event?
For the funding for this, is that a different set of funding than the budget that goes to organizations?
So the event, so with the budgeting, our funding, so we get an allotted budget, right, just like any organization, and then we have to request in front of finance, just like any other organization. So that would be something that we would have to request if we need additional funding.
And that's where the money for the wine and painting would come from?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the thing too with it. Oh, no. All right.
Is that it?
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that was mentioned, this is more up your alley, Vice President Corrales, since this involves elections and petitions. So one of the things that was mentioned, I just want to clarify because it was said that there would be a vote to change the policy that was implemented during COVID from all at-large representatives to then the more major specific. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So in terms of what do you mean exactly with that?
How does that get implemented? Because you said you were going to vote on it, it didn't pass, but then I heard a little bit later on that it would slowly, gradually be back in next year?
So essentially what happens is every year the Elections Commission meets with the Vice President, who is the chairperson, and this year unfortunately we haven't met just because there's the commission hasn't been filled completely, as well as there's been student conflicts with scheduling. But essentially what happens is that they meet together, they decide as a group depending on what the petition procedures will be. So in specifics as to us doing the whole constituency, what we were doing, constituency versus at-large representatives, our process of voting in here was because during COVID, they had canceled that completely to make it accessible for all students. So essentially we voted because Elections Commission didn't meet, because if we would have just met and voted it within ourselves, we usually have the final say and then we would bring up to Parliament kind of like what we decided on. Because we didn't have that meeting, like I said, we opened it up to Parliament and we had the students speak up and kind of talk about the issue at hand.
And if I have it correct, the vote for changing from at-large to constituencies based on major only had 5 voted for and then overwhelmingly voted against. So are you still going to try to push that next year, even though the vote wasn't for it?
So the vote was for, yes, the at-large representatives. There was only 5 that voted for the constituency. So with that next year, it would be up to the elected vice president, who would be the elected chairperson for the election commission. So with next year, I can't really speak too much on it because, like I said, I'm only the vice president of this semester. So once the initial filing period begins and declaration and sign dine starting April 28th, that's when the new vice president elected would decide those for next year.
And that's same thing for the signatures going from 35 to 50?
Yeah, the signatures are originally 50. There's no more than 50 in our bylaws, so it states dependent. This is why we had to do the voting and why it's a little confused. Well, essentially with the constituencies, it's all about based off the 25% of the enrollment numbers of students in that major, and the total number of signatures will not exceed more than 50 signatures. So if we would have went that route, obviously it would have been 20% of their major, no more than 50 signatures in total. So for School of Business, there's definitely more than 50 people there. So you would only need that 50. You wouldn't go past the 25. Well, the 25, it's either one of the 25% or the 50. So whichever one is less. Typically the 50 is less because, like I said, the majors are so large. Next year with the 50 going from 35 to 50, that's the original
number that they usually set, and that's the number that has been in place ever since prior to COVID. So all these changes are happening because of COVID, so they're post-COVID changes that we're trying to bring back to our original and our rules and policies.
Just to wrap this up in a nice bow for someone who's watching and also when I was live tweeting, to make sure I have this 100% correct. So next year, regardless, it's going from 35 signatures to 50. And then for the constituency versus at-large reps, that's dependent on what the next VP wants?
Yeah, well, sorry, I apologize.
No.
I confused myself there when I said that it's
Please,
for the
please
next.
smile.
Yeah,
Really,
he got me, right?
got
That's why. No, so we voted right now for next semester, but once the new president, the vice president is in place, because we have to vote on it now because the initial filing period begins this semester. If they want to change it for next year or the year after, it would be, well, it would be, yeah, it would be dependent on the bylaws and policies once we change them, but essentially, what I'm trying to say is the vice president of next year has an opportunity to do kind of like what we did also, is decide if they want to bring it back down from 50, they can bring it back down to 35. I don't believe, according to what it's written here, I don't think they can do it. I think what happened to us was just like a COVID reason, and they kind of just, obviously there was nobody here to get signatures, nobody was meeting in person. All you had to do at that time was call to interview, and that's how you were elected, and then they slowly brought back the 35. So this signatures is just a way of us bringing it back to how it used to be. I don't believe, or I don't foresee it coming back down to the 50. If anything, I see it increasing, or hopefully.
I have one more thing. Going back to what you were asking about the funding, this party is getting funded from this semester stuff, not from some stuff that's going on to the next semester. That's where all the cuts are getting made, and we're still working on that. So I didn't want any confusion with that.
No worries, I appreciate
You're onto
clarifying.
that.
And just to make sure I have this correct now, this semester, still 35 signatures, at-large reps. Next year, to be decided.
Yes, but so, all right. I feel like
I'm trying to make sure I have it correct.
No, exactly for the camera. So this year, yes. So yes, it's not 35. We've moved it to 50, and we moved it to at-large representative. So it's not going to be specific to the constituency of the majors. That we're not applying until hopefully the following semester, the following year. They will implement it. I'm hoping, because I said we're trying to bring things back to COVID. But what we did approve tonight was 50 signatures, the at-large. So that's what's going to get approved. So when this filing period begins March 27th, that's what we're going to go by. It's the 50 signatures, and it can be signatures from anybody at large.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking of the filing period, if someone's watching and they want to join Parliament, can you give the timeline of all these dates? Because I was hearing a lot of them, and then hearing event dates. I just want to make sure we have everything correct.
No worries. So the initial filing period is from March 27th to April 14th, and then we have our declaration begin April 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, April 11th to April 14th is the declaration. After that, we will have our elections, which will be 4/26, which is our last Parliament meeting. Is signed on. That's where we will elect our new officers for the new following semester, and everything will be done and over. There's no more Parliament for the rest of the year.
She's good on camera, huh?
And during that period, any student could petition to become an at-large rep, and then when they become an at-large rep, they can run for e-board?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you notice, there's an overlap between the declaration period beginning and when the initial filing period ends. The initial filing period ends the 14th as declaration ends the 14th, because it gives the opportunity for those, like, if you get your petition done the 27th and you bring it back, once declaration opens up, you can be the first person there. So it's to encourage students to quickly get their petition so that they can quickly declare for the office positions that they've decided.
And anybody else that wants to join Parliament, you're more than welcome to run.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're just a regular student that's interested and you're seeing this video, please come up to Student Community Government, or room 401 on the 4th floor of the Student Community Government, Student Union Building. Please.
Yeah.
I mean,
you also mentioned class elections.
Yes.
Is there any specific dates for that yet?
Yeah, so class election as well. Let me.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Here it is. So class elections, they will also have their declaration begin and happen during the same period as the SCG officers. The only difference is that they're having their elections done that 24th. So that Monday, elections will be done. That Wednesday is our elections for SCG.
Monday, April 24th.
April 24th, yes, exactly. April 24th for class for the class. class officers, yeah.
And for the ballots, is it like previous years emailed? Like,
Yes, it will be, sent out via link, email. Yep.
Will there be any tables in Donovan?
Hopefully there will be, that's what we're setting up, just for tabling for both the Parliament members and class officers. So we're hoping to get more students involved and get some tabling. I know that's gonna be a little tough with the end of semester coming to us, but hopefully students are still, motivated.
Everybody, all the events that are going on, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of news, not really related to events, but I kind of want to ask this for the final question. It's unrelated to those policy changes in elections. President Torres, you're probably expecting this question from me every day, let alone every week, because you've been covering for over a year. What's the situation with the operating agreement as it stands today?
As it stands today, our lawyer is going to reach out to their lawyer, and we're going to have a sit down, and we're hopefully.
He already did. He already sent that out.
He sent it out today, but he hasn't got a response yet. So, hopefully, what I want to happen is I hope we all get to that room and we do not leave until it's done. So I'm hoping we can possibly meet like on Sunday or something like that. So it's no business, nothing with through the school. Everybody doesn't have class. We can sit there and get it done, and then that's it. They release our funds hopefully, and we can start funding our organizations again.
Is there a current date set up for that meeting yet?
Negative, not yet. We just sent the email this morning, I believe.
No,
he came in today. He came in today, and so he sent it out today.
So hopes for a final meeting to then reach an agreement?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And are you going to sign it right there and then, or let it go to Parliament?
It's to be determined. I would like to do it in front of the camera and in front of the students. If we can do it in Donovan, that would be great.
Because the only reason I ask, and I'm not sure how much you've caught up with the coverage, but it sounds like...
I watch everything, yeah.
So
yeah.
If you read the end, you probably know.
Yeah.
I've asked Warner this, and his words are, once you reach a tentative agreement, which is you agree, he agrees, your lawyer agrees, their lawyer agrees, but the pen still hasn't been put to the paper yet, but the terms are literally agreed upon, and then you can bring it to Parliament for a vote. Would you favor that?
In all honesty, I want to make it public. I want to, if we can do it in Donovan, I swear, that would be beautiful. You know what I mean? So the students, once we do, and I would like to speak to the president or President Warner about it, where we can do it public and make a ceremony out of it. That would be great.
And like you said, like as soon as it's tentative, so as soon as we've finalized everything and it's literally ready for a signature, like we're hoping to bring it to everybody so that it's the final presentation, the final document that will be live for 5 years.
Got it. Or President Torres, Vice President Corrales, thank you both so much for your time.
She killed it. She needs to be doing this more often.